but you have experience now with going into J-Lo, Jordan Love, the Packers, and then also you were around with Aaron and Zach Wilson with the Jets. He was somebody who was expected. You got to go to the bathroom?
I got to pee. I'm waiting for your
All right.
question.
I was going to say, you come into a situation too.
Bro, you got a cup right there. What's up, man? I thought this was
I don't
Bussin'
know
With
if
The
his
Boys,
piece is
man.
gonna.
Talk. I'll be right back.
You come into a situation there where it's like, yeah, we watched the Hard Knocks and juicy Hard Knocks, like Saleh, like all of it. It seemed like, you were excited for the Jets because they've been such a franchise who just wants to win so badly.
Yeah.
A big media market and everything else. You go into that first game, and Aaron's down after 4 plays. How big? Talk about that moment. Talk about those few weeks.
Whew. Well, it was like
leading
you said,
up, you guys are like,
leading
we're
up-
coming for it all.
Oh yeah, like that was by far the best defense I've ever been around.
They're
like
insane.
watching them day in and day out in practice, the way that they practice, the way they get to the ball, like I've never seen anything like it, right? So we knew that the defense was going to be who they were. And again, like when 12 or 8 is the quarterback, like you got a chance. We had Brees at running back, who
Monster.
Like he's so cold. Like I don't think people realize how good he is, and I hope that they'll start to see that.
Bijan Robinson, we had him on. We interviewed him last week, and his top 3 running backs, Brees was number 2.
Yeah.
So
He's cold.
yeah, he's starting to get on the radar a little bit, but he is nice.
So you got him at running back. Garrett, who is freaky at receiver.
Yeah.
Like he's cold. Like if Aaron is out there, he's gonna have one of those years.
Yeah.
Like one of those years is like, okay, we see why he's who he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were going into it flying high, and then 4 plays in, like he goes down, he goes to the blue tent. They take him back to the locker room, but like obviously we're still in the middle of the game. I didn't know what actually happened in the moment. Like we didn't have the replay on the sideline. We didn't know.
But did you ask a trainer?
I was asking the trainers. They weren't giving me anything. They didn't say anything. So I'm like every few minutes I'm waiting for him to run out the tunnel. I'm like, I done seen this before. He done went to the locker room, came out in the second half. Like, so
He
I'm
was just carrying the flag out a minute ago.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, he's coming back. Where's he at? Where's he at? And then like halftime comes around. Like as soon as the clock hits 0, I go sprint to the locker room. I walk into the training room and I see him. And like the moment we locked eyes, like I've never seen him cry the way that like they were flowing that night. God. And like in that moment, I was like, damn. Like it felt like I had lost family. You know what I mean? Like it felt like I had heard that my brother died.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that was
absolutely.
And I'm seeing him, and like it's just like so much emotion in that moment. And like we still gotta go out and play the second half. So like, but in that moment, like I just felt so bad for him because I knew how much he had put into this. Like we had talked about getting an apartment in New York like back in like 2014. Like me
together?
We were
roommates.
Like, not roommates, but like we were gonna get a place in the same building. Like like
would have been cooler if it was roommates, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but we were all because we've always loved New York. Like, that's always been a place that we've both talked about a lot.
Crazy, but go on.
Yeah. But like it's crazy like that happened. Like we literally manifested that into being. And like to see how much work he had put into it, the entire off season, the entire training camp, and like 4 plays, like not even like we're not talking about like 4 games, 4 plays. Like for him only to have that experience for 4 plays, it was tough. It was a tough moment. For him, I know for sure. And like the rest of that season was just like, we just trying to hold on. Our defense playing their ass off. Like
your defense is so good.
Dog, we get the ball back at midfield. Like okay, like we like hoping like, please, like, can we please get a field goal in this drive? Like, can we do anything?
Can we just do something?
Do something.
Like, y'all almost upset the Chiefs early in the year.
Yeah.
How is Zach Wilson's mental during that? When you're getting the ball at the 50-yard line, and you're like, please, God, just get to the 35 so we can
I mean, I think, again, like I talk about with rookie quarterbacks being thrown into the fire and being thrown into the fire in New York City, the biggest media market potentially in the world. Like, and there's so much hype for us as a team. Like those Crows, like they came picking us apart from that point on, and like they had picked Zach for 3 years, right? So now he's thrusted back into this position once again. Like I would have loved to see him be able to sit back for an entire season and learn and see. Like he got to see it for a month, but like I would have loved for him to have that opportunity, because I think he's very talented. I think he just hadn't had that piece of understanding, of knowing. And, hopefully things are a little different for him in Denver.
Mm-hmm. When on the outside looking in, obviously Aaron 8 being out there is like the glue of the entire operation. Is it the same way internally? Like organization-wise, was it much different? Like when Aaron's kind of calling the shots, or not calling the shots, but a part of it in a big way leading up to that first game, to where the rest of the season now the organization is kind of, running around with chickens with their head cut off? Like what was the vibe? Because obviously everybody has their thoughts on the outside looking in, but what was the vibe on the inside?
Yeah, I mean, as players, like we're just trying to win, right? Like we're trying to do everything we can to win. But, when you're a little bit of an older player, like you start connecting with more people than just the players, because like most of the players that I'm around, they're early 20s.
Doing their thing.
They're doing their thing. Like I'm spending more time with the people in the weight room, the nutrition staff, the performance, so I'm in the training room talking to, everyone, like all the trainers and stuff. Like you just start to like hear bits and pieces from all the different areas. And like, once you start tying the pieces together and you start seeing, you're like, oh, wait, I done seen this before. And it wasn't in Dallas and it wasn't in Green Bay.
Yeah. The PTSD of
I was like, okay. All right,
what are we gonna do? How do we get traded?
No. But it was like, it was really difficult, because I think they put so much into that one season, and obviously they made such a big move for Aaron. Like I think that they were in a very tough spot, and I think it was a little bit of PTSD for them as well. Like,
Yeah.
It just seemed like finally the year for the Jets.
They're
finally going to get, whatever it is. They're finally going to be a good team.
Right.
Yeah.
That all of New York
America's kind of rooting for them.
Yeah. America's like, oh, good for them.
But it's coming.
That's awesome.
It's coming this year, though. It's coming.
You think so?
I think, like, I'm very optimistic about the Jets this year.
Yeah.
I think, like, the pieces that they made on the O-line is going to be a big move for them, a big step. The defense is what the defense is.
Defense
Nasty,
is
bro.
elite.
They bring in Mike Williams. They draft a young guy out of Western Kentucky that just a little bit of tape that I've seen on him. He looks nice. Like I said, you got Brees in the backfield. Like the pieces are there once again. We'll see how it plays out.
Dude, what was it like when Aaron's done? Like, okay, he's Achilles 9 months at least.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, November hits. There's clamoring. You're eating Thanksgiving turkey, and all of a sudden you're hearing Aaron might actually come back.
Yeah.
Like, how real was that to you?
I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, okay.
Like, come on, man. What are we talking about?
He got out on the practice field, though,
He got on the practice field. That is nuts. Like, that's a feat in its own.
Maybe it was just for a clip. Maybe it was just a clip.
No, but listen, you got to understand, too. Like
we ate the shit out of that clip.
He was gone that entire time.
Yeah.
Right? Like he went back to LA and he was doing his rehab in LA. So we would only see him on some Sundays. He would fly in for the game. Sometimes he would meet us, like he met us in Vegas for the game. So we were seeing him bits and pieces. Like we didn't know like where he actually was. And like we keep hearing this and like, yeah, you can throw a ball. Like you're standing there throwing the ball. You're not really moving around. But when he comes back and he like is actually practicing, I think everyone was like, wait, hold on. Like if we could have won just like a couple more games, I really do believe if we were in contention at that point that he could have played. Like
that is so
you
crazy.
Really believe he could have played in a wild card game.
I would in a wild card game without a doubt he would have been able to play.
To the level of Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, playoff game in 2014, he had a pulled calf. We couldn't do anything under center. We were in the pistol and the gun. Everything was out the pistol and gun. He was like, I'm just saying, we would have been able to have him on the field. He would have been able to play. Would it have been smart for him? No, but he could have played. I wish that somebody could pull the practice tape so y'all could see some of the throws that he was making the last week of practice against the starting Jets defense
up right now.
I'm telling you that he could have played in the wild card
planting
game.
off his back foot,
planting off his back
putting
foot,
his body into throws.
Is he the best player you've ever been around?
Without a doubt. Like, it's not even close.